Hi, my name is Stella. I am part of the St. Stephen's Youth Group. As COVID-19 has affected so many people, many are still in need. Family Promise is one of those communities that help the families in need of support. The program finds the family that they think will most benefit. Once the families are enrolled into the program, they will start going to churches for a week at a time until they find a new home. As you enter St. Stephen's, you will see the kitchen, when all the cooks will prepare a meal for the families before they get to church, so that way the meal is ready for them right off the bat. You will now see Father Bill sitting at one of the tables where the families will feast upon the delightful meal the cooks made. Once they have finished their meal, some of them will go to their rooms, which we'll show in a minute. Or if the kids still have some energy, they will go and watch a movie. The kids will soon become tired and go to bed. So they will travel downstairs, where there are two big rooms to fit the families, provided with sheets, beds, blankets, and pillows.
Family Promise it's not just a quick meal, it's not just $5, it's not just a quick handout on the street corner, but it's actually a program that we're helping people to end homelessness, not just to get them through the day or to get them through a meal.
Only families, parents with children, are served by this program. And there are other homeless shelters that may shelter men in all in one facility, or women and children all in another facility, but that splits up the families. So Family Promise, working with churches to provide a place for people to stay, allows the intact family unit to stay together.
Why is keeping families together so important?
I just think the family is, that's what everything in the world stems from. I mean, even if it's not your standard traditional looking family, it's just those ties and having that firm foundation and being able to go out in the world based on that really affects people, for the rest of their lives.
What does a typical day look like for someone who is in the program?
So we'll start with the night, because that's kind of what I'm most familiar with. Is they get to the church, they come for dinner, and we'll make dinner for them, and then that's where they spend the evening and spend the night, and then they leave at about 7 o'clock the next morning. There's people who coordinate to take them back to the Family Promise Day Center, which is where they spend their day working on any various things that they need to reestablish their lives, whether it's getting identification, working through paperwork. They have people that help them work on job applications, just things that really help them get back on their feet. And that's what they spend, to my knowledge, most of the day doing, filling out maybe applications for homes to rent and just stuff to get them back on their feet again. And then that's their day, and then they head back to the church again for dinner and to spend the night again.
And one thing Tiffany didn't say is that the kids will go to the school where they have been regularly going to school, and they're bused wherever that is across the town, so they can stay in the same school and be with the same classmates.
What's been your favorite moment of being involved with Family Promise, and why?
We had a family show up one night. It was the first night, so Sunday night, and they had the cutest little girl. She was maybe 3 or 4, and her mom mentioned that it was her birthday. And we, of course, didn't know that. And so I got to run down the street to Target and pick her out some little toys, and came back, and we had just a little celebration for her and gave her gifts. And it was just I was so happy to be there, that they happened to be with us on her birthday. And so it was just neat to be able to give her just a little something extra and celebrate her, when normally, had they not been in the program, it probably wouldn't have been that way.
How has COVID-19 impacted the work that Family Promise is doing?
I suspect, since they don't have churches to rotate families around to, that they've had to limit how many families they can serve. So that means that there are fewer families who can be helped through this program until they get to start staying back in churches again.
I know they're still doing their things, and I'll still get notifications and emails that people have found a place to live. So families are graduating out of the program. I think it's just not happening as quickly, which, like Bill said, they're not able to take as many families as they normally would. So,
what's something you've learned from volunteering with them?
by hearing their stories, I hear many run into difficulties because of health problems that they have absolutely no control over. And there's an injury, a work injury, or an illness, and then bills mount up and they don't have a place to stay.
I've learned to really not be judgmental towards people who are homeless, and just not think, oh, this is something that they brought this on themselves, but just really extending a lot of grace to people, because we don't know all the things that led them to their current situation.
To vote for this video at projectforawesome.com and find ways to get involved with Family Promise, check out the links in the doobly-doo.
Happy Project for Awesome!